One young Bahamian is making his mark internationally in the field of agriculture as he prepares to leave for the Forum of Leaders in Agriculture at the University of Nebraska next week. The Inter-American Institute for Cooperation on Agriculture, ICA, is sponsoring the event.
It's bringing young persons involved in agriculture or leadership, and it's helping them to realize and talk about what we can do as young people to help our countries and the region in agriculture and rural development. And when we talk about rural development, we don't have countryside in the Bahamas, but we have the Family Islands. And our rural development would be the development of the Family Islands as it pertains to agriculture and feeding ourselves, sustainability.
Tracing our history back to the colonial days, Gibson says that agriculture had always been a major focus in the Bahamas. However, since independence in 1973, this has not been the case.
From the Spaniards came, they noticed the potential with the hardwoods that we had, the Brazilita, Madeira, mahogany, all of these. Then it eventually grew into the pineapples, the onions, tomatoes, and whatnot. And it's the same land, and one thing with land, you cannot cultivate on one piece of land for 20 years because the soil will lose its natural compounds. And the fact that it's been about 30 years that most of this land hasn't been cultivated on, I feel as though this land is more than ready now for us to go back and do so much work.
ICA's mandate states that the future of agriculture will be about solving global problems by pooling resources and setting up a framework of mutually acceptable rules on trade, food safety, the environment, science and technology for the benefit of global prosperity. Gibson echoes these sentiments.
I personally believe that if we in the Caribbean, we could cut off our food supply from the U.S. if we can produce. Say the Bahamas produces the tomatoes for the entire Caribbean, Jamaica produces this, St. Lucia produces bananas, everybody produces their crop, and we can all feed ourselves. Not to say to cut off the U.S. or be rude about it, but we have the ability and the power to feed ourselves. And if we can get our governments together, which it's not a political thing that I'm going to, but if we can get everybody to work together, we can definitely feed ourselves and eliminate the food crisis that we're going through in the world right now.
Gibson says that after the forum, he hopes to present a formal document to the Minister of Agriculture summarizing the findings of he and his colleagues. This young agricultural leader is passionate about the field of agriculture and hopes that the Bahamas will soon see a resurgence to agricultural prominence. For the Tourism Today Network, I'm Gina Seeley.